and welcome. This is Ruth and I've got the Happy Harvest Stamp Club to share with you today. Now it looks really beautiful, and these are the stamps, an A5 stamp set and an A5 die set, and some of them, as you can see, the tree here has a die to match it. This one has here, and some of them have dies and some of them the dies are actually just separate, but they complement each other. So as it says, as the name suggests, Happy Harvest. It's sort of an autumny kind of thing, and Thanksgiving, everything sort of combined in there. But we've also got birthday hugs and go nuts, it's your birthday, sending hedgehogs, give thanks, happy harvest, be thankful, all of those things, and we've all got plenty to be thankful for. So I'm going to give you a quick run through the dies and stamps and then get cracking and show you what we can do with it. If you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell. And then if you do enjoy it at the end, it would really help me if you give it a little thumbs up and leave me a little comment. Thank you very much for always doing that. Now, as I said here, we've got a little set of cute animals and then lots and lots of accessories to go with them. And they're all quite small and dinky, so there's a lot of scope to build up scenes and do different things. And you could definitely match some of these into some of the other things that you've already got. So you might have some stamp clubs from the past, some designer's choice sets and different things. These would most definitely work along with them. Actually, as I was just saying that, I remembered I had this on my desk, and this is a designer's choice, I think, from a while ago. And I've used a previous stamp club in there, and I actually think some of these wee animals would be really cute in there too. Anyway, just a passing thought. But we've got a wreath, and we can build up some bits and pieces with other little tiny elements, tiny apple and leaves and hearts, and then we've got a fox and a squirrel and an owl and a little hedgehog. This cute little sign, and you could actually just handwrite a little sentiment or something in there, but obviously you've got different ones that will fit in there. The die is for that sign as well, and then this banner you can use just for tails or for bunting, but it definitely would fit some of these as well. And I really love this here because it's a little thing that you can hang between two of these trees and hang different things off it. So you could hang leaves from it, or you could do all sorts of things. And then there's a little wheelbarrow, stamp and die, and then lots of foliage. And I absolutely love getting foliage and flowers like this here where you can build up a scene. But already I'm seeing this beautiful little basket. That is so beautiful, and I think that would be lovely with some flowers coming out of it and different things. I do see some things if we're going to look imaginatively at it as well, because well, this one here, I'll come back and tell you what I've thought for that one as well. Right, I'm off to get some card and some colouring equipment, tools, whatever, and I'll be right back. I've stamped out this little wreath stamp and then I die cut it. Sometimes I colour it first and then die cut it later, but I've done it in that order this time. And there it is. And I've actually just lifted out a bundle of greens, and I'm not really worrying too much about which ones are which. So I'm getting, if I get a lighter shade, then I'll add some extra on top, because they're alcohol markers, you can do that, and they just layer up. I wanted to cut the centre out of that, so I put a little circle die in and took this circle out of the centre, and then this won't actually be perfect, but I'm going to be overlapping it with some die cuts, but that gave me a good place to just start in and fussy cut really roughly around that, and then we'll have the little wreath cut out. I know this is supposed to be a harvest set and everything is kind of autumnal on it, but I just love the versatility of finding something that you can make other things with, as you probably already know. So I'm going to do a couple of little summery cards first, and then I'll get straight into some autumny things as well. So I've got this little A2 card here, and I've got some Venetian gold. I have gutted it, so I've taken the inside out and I can use that again for something else. And I've popped some chili red on top, and that's going to go on there. Then I've cut a little panel which is smaller again, and I'm going to put that on here. But I wanted to do some summery things, as I said, and I've cut out lots of these little flowers. So I have gone ahead with the Lemon Drops. I'll show you here what I've done. Lemon Drops pen, and just coloured in the centre like that. Nothing greatly exciting or even difficult to do with it, just the centres. And then I've taken my little jewel dot marker and gone for the pointy end here and done some little dots just around here. So I've done the dots on the others there, and I'm just adding a few on here. And then I have cut out some of these little leaves here. That's that tiny little leaf die, and I really love that one. And I'm going to just add a little bit of shading onto that as well. So just down the centre there and a little bit at the tips, not very much. And then I'm going to glue those onto the card. And then I have a little, I think you saw there that I was stamping this out, and I cut it. Glued on like that, then I can just turn it over and follow the edge of the card and nip off all those extra pieces there. And now I can go ahead and layer all of this up. Oh, make sure my card's the right way up first, and it wasn't. I'll put that on there, put this on there, and then that's my background, and then I can work out the placement for my little wreath on top of that. I love hearts. I just love them on anything, and I thought instead of adding little flowers or extra leaves onto this, that I would add the little hearts. So I've cut those out in red. I've actually added a little bit of shading as well. It's chili red, and I added a little bit of shading. It's not very obvious, so maybe add a little bit more just onto one side of each of those. And this is with the strawberry jam pen, the alcohol marker, and I've added some 3D foam pads onto the back of that, and I'm going to put that just round about there. And then I've stamped the thanks so much, and that is going to go there. And I can add, well, I was going to add some crystal drops, but I actually think it's really nice just the way it is, and I'll leave it like that. I actually just nipped off the other tail on the side of that and popped it down in this way and layered it up over the end of that. And there you are, a little summery card. I've made a second card up, and this is an A6 size, so it's slightly bigger than the other one. And I've layered it and gutted it and done all of the same things that I did for the background of this one. And I've even used the daisies, and I've just used the leaves in a slightly darker colour. And then I cut out the For You die cut, and I cut it in gold and red and just offset it so that it shows up just a bit like the background, only the other way around, because I wanted the gold in the foreground this time. Now another little summery touch and another little twist on a die. So if you have a look on your die set here, you'll see this beautiful, hopefully you can see it there, I'll put a piece of card in behind, this beautiful little mushroom, toadstool or whatever. So you've got the outline of it here, and then you've got a patterned piece that you can add detail into, and then this is the little, there we are, this is the little stump for it here. So you would add those both together and you'll get a little mushroom. But I thought, looking at this, if you just turn it the other way around, instead of having, this would be your mushroom and then or your toadstool, and then the little stump would go here, and that's really, really beautiful. But I thought if I just turned this upside down, I would have a kind of strawberry shape, and then I could add a little leaf to the top. So let's try that. Now I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of shading around the outside with a strawberry jam marker. So this is an alcohol marker. Now obviously you can see there that the shading's a bit too deep in that, so I have just taken my blender pen and gone around that like that and blended it in. It's not actually blending, it's sort of removing some of that ink, but dispersing it a little as well. So I've got that, and then I have my dual marker dot pen again here. I'll put, if you're interested in this, I'll put the link down below, and hopefully that's still in stock because it's great for this kind of detail. And then I've got the little leaf to go up at the top. Then I just glued this one on, and I added this one on a dimensional foam pad. So hopefully you can see that. But there you are, two little summery cards from a harvest or autumn set, and now I'll go straight on to some autumn colours. You saw there how I coloured this little squirrel in with alcohol markers, and then I just fussy cut with the tiny little scissors, and I have him on some 3D foam pads ready to put onto the card. This time I'm going to use an A6 card again, but I'm not going to do any layering or anything on the background the way I did with these ones. So I've used lots and lots of the dies. That was the only stamp I used in this one. So I've used the basket die, and I'll show you how I did that. I cut the main shape out in the brown, and then I cut this one out in cream, and then I used that one along with this one in pumpkin spice to get this, and that's given me a lovely little basket all layered up. So I'm going to put that there, and then instead of using my flowers flat this time, actually I'll glue the basket on because that's definitely the central part to the card, and everything else will go around that. Instead of putting the flower on just singly this time, I've layered it up, and we've got a little double flower on there, and that's going to go just there. And there's my little squirrel. I need to leave him there. So I've got a pumpkin here, and I've layered that up, and I've also done some shading. I've just taken a little alcohol marker and put some extra shading on here. I think sometimes we don't do that enough on dies, but you know, when you die cut something, you definitely can add a lot of depth to it by just adding some shading as well with an alcohol marker, or even with a pencil. It looks really good. And then we've got leaves, and I could do that too, I might, but I really wanted to show you the little mushroom or toadstool that I used for the strawberry in this card, just to show you how different it can look. And obviously you could have that with red on top and just go for a tone on tone sort of colour, but I have it there, and I've glued the little base to it there. And then on this tiny one, I've cut this out twice. So I've cut it out once in white and then once in red, and I've nipped off the base in the red and just glued that on top, and I've got that there. And now I'm just going to sort of look around this. I've die cut lots of little leaves and bits and pieces, and I'm going to go for some kind of assembly on it that I like. And I've got give thanks, and I think that's going to go on there. I stamped it, and then I cut it with the beautiful little die. Now, before I finish totally with this little daisy and all these bits and pieces, I wanted to show you this. This is where I cut the daisy out of the white card, and obviously if I left more card around that, you could use that as a stencil. You could even cut multiples of them out on a bigger piece of card and layer it down and stencil over your whole card with it with some ink. And you could also just cut those all out as a pattern and leave those that you can see through, and put a different piece of card in behind in a different colour, and I think that would look really good as well. So that's just another little idea. Now I'll go ahead and look at this and see how I want to assemble it. Done and dusted, and I was happy with that, but I thought the card was too long. Well, actually the card wasn't too long. I placed these just too far down the card and I just trimmed a little bit off, so there's no problem with doing that as well. It'll not make much difference when it goes into the envelope, but it definitely helps with the placement of this as well. That's it finished, and I hope you've enjoyed this set. There's so much scope with it because, as I said, you've got summer cards and also autumn. Now, I know it was supposed to be an autumn set, but I always like to get a bit of extra mileage out of it. These autumnal colours are really, really beautiful. I think today maybe, because I've been out in the garden a bit this morning just checking up on the birds and the fruit and all the rest of it. I don't have too much, but the birds are sure enjoying my strawberries, and that's probably what put all of this into my mind. I'm just letting them go. I like the birds to enjoy them. I hope they leave me some as well, but anyway, that's by's the by. There we are, that's the 3 cards, and I shall now move on to something else, and I hope to be back to see you soon again. I hope you have enjoyed this, as I said. If you did, give me a little thumbs up and don't forget to leave me a little comment down below. And my affiliate links to this set will be down below in the description as well, so thank you very, very much to everybody who uses those. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, I really would love you to do that and hit the notification bell. And that way, you'll be kept up to date with all of the videos that are coming up, and I can tell you there's plenty more in the pipeline. So, thanks for your company once again, and I do hope to see you soon, and in the meantime, happy crafting. Bye bye!